Have you ever wondered what happens to airliners when they are deemed too old to keep flying? Whether they're passenger planes or cargo carriers, these massive machines eventually reach the end of their working life. But their story doesn't end when they land for the last time. In this video, I describe what happens to these aircraft once they're retired from service. I have often wondered what it must be like for the pilots who land an aircraft at the end of its final flight, then taxi it to a parking spot, and turning off the engines for the last time. Do they pause to say a silent thank you to those machines who have reached the end of their service, knowing that within a few months they will be disassembled and scrapped? The life cycle of an airliner is a fascinating journey, from transporting passengers or cargo across the globe to being repurposed and recycled in ways you might not expect. Let's explore the different stages of an aircraft's final chapter. 1. Retirement and storage. When an airliner is no longer economical or safe to operate, it's retired from service. This decision is usually based on factors like age, rising maintenance costs, or the availability of newer, more efficient models. Once retired, these planes don't immediately head to the scrapyard. Instead, they're often flown to large storage facilities, sometimes also known as aircraft boneyards. In the USA, these storage sites are typically located in dry desert regions, like those in Arizona or California, where the arid climate helps prevent corrosion. Here, aircraft are parked in neat rows, sometimes for months or even years. Some planes are stored in a state that allows them to be reactivated if needed, while others are preserved with special covers and protective coatings, waiting for their next stage. 2. Disassembly and part salvage. For most retired airliners, their next step is disassembly. This process is far more meticulous than simply tearing the plane apart. Skilled technicians carefully remove valuable components such as engines, avionics, and landing gear. These parts are then inspected, refurbished, and sold on the secondary market, where they might be used to keep other aircraft flying or to train new aviation engineers. The parts salvaged from these planes can be worth millions, especially high-demand items like engines. Even smaller components like seats or galley equipment can find new life in different planes or be sold to collectors and enthusiasts. There are many companies around the world that specialize in this task. For example, here in the UK, there's a company based at Cotswold Airport that specializes in breaking up and recycling old airliners. Is called Air Salvage International, ASI. ASI is one of Europe's leading aircraft disassembly and recycling companies, handling the end-of-life process for a wide range of commercial aircraft. They have extensive experience in dismantling, recycling, and salvaging valuable parts from retired airliners. 3. Recycling and material recovery. After all the valuable components have been removed, what's left is the airframe, the plane's metal skeleton. This is where the recycling process kicks in. Modern airliners are built using a variety of materials, including aluminium, titanium, steel, and composites. These materials are carefully separated and processed. For example, aluminium, which makes up a large part of an aircraft, can be melted down and reused in everything from new aircraft parts to everyday products. On average, up to 85–90% of an aircraft's weight can be recycled, making this process both economically and environmentally beneficial. 4. Disposal of hazardous materials. Aircraft contain various hazardous materials that need to be handled with care. These include fuel, oils, hydraulic fluids, batteries, and certain electronic components. During disassembly, specialized companies manage these materials to ensure they are disposed of safely and in compliance with environmental regulations. This step is crucial for preventing pollution and ensuring that the recycling process doesn't harm the environment. It's a behind-the-scenes aspect of aircraft disposal that plays a vital role in the aviation industry's sustainability efforts. 5. repurposing and upcycling. Not all parts of an aircraft end up being recycled in the traditional sense. Some are repurposed in creative and unexpected ways. For example, sections of fuselage or wings might be transformed into unique pieces of furniture, artwork, or even used in architecture. Old aircraft cabins have been turned into restaurants, hotels, and even homes, offering a one-of-a-kind experience. Upcycling parts of aircraft is not only a way to preserve aviation history, but also a growing trend in sustainable design. It ensures that even after a plane's flying days are over, parts of it can continue to serve a purpose, bringing a piece of the sky back down to Earth. 6. Final resting place. After all reusable materials have been salvaged, recycled, or repurposed, the remaining structure is typically scrapped. This involves breaking down the final remnants of the aircraft into small pieces, which are then processed and sent to recycling facilities, or in some cases, to landfills. However, for some iconic aircraft, those that have played significant roles in aviation history, a different fate awaits. These planes might be preserved in museums or displayed as monuments, allowing future generations to appreciate their contribution to the history of flight. For example, in 2020, British Airways made the decision to retire their iconic Boeing 747 fleet ahead of schedule due to the disruptions caused by the coronavirus pandemic. Just a year before this, British Airways had celebrated 100 years of service by repainting 3 of these legendary aircraft in classic heritage liveries: BOH, Landor and Negus. Following 6 weeks of discussions, it was decided that the Negus liveried Boeing 747, registration GCIVB, would avoid the scrapyard and instead find a permanent home at Cotswold Airport. In October 2020, GCIVB touched down at Cotswold Airport, much to the excitement of aviation enthusiasts. To ensure the aircraft had a meaningful purpose, plans were set in motion to convert it into a unique corporate event space and private hire venue. This involved rewiring the plane to connect to mains power and installing a state-of-the-art audiovisual system to accommodate various events. On 11th February 2022, GCIVB was open to the public, and the following month Negus welcomed visitors aboard for public tours, with many of its original features still intact as they were on the day it landed. Since opening to the public, Negus has drawn thousands of visitors on tour days, and the owners are proud to offer the public the chance to step aboard this stunning Queen of the Skies. She is also the venue for weddings, parties, and corporate events. So, the next time you see an airliner, remember that its journey doesn't just end when it stops flying. From storage in vast boneyards to being meticulously dismantled for parts, and from recycling its metals to being upcycled into something entirely new, these aircraft continue to serve long after their final flight. What part of this process surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this look into the final journey of airliners interesting, make sure to like, share and subscribe for more insights into the hidden sides of aviation.